And so we do all that noise reduction, we take care of all that heavy lifting for them, and they just get to sit back and know that their security is handled.
Dan Schiappa is the President of Technology and Services for ArcticWolf. He's sitting down with us here in San Francisco. Really grateful for your time. Thanks for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
So let's start with a bit of an introduction to ArcticWolf, Dan, for any of our viewers who might be a bit unfamiliar.
Sure.
What is ArcticWolf and the services that you provide in the space?
Yeah, so ArcticWolf is really kind of around to help solve the biggest security problem, which is I have so much product, so much information, I don't know what to do with all of it, and I need your help. And so over the time, we've built out a really, really robust security platform. We collect around 9 trillion security observations a week. So to put that in perspective, every day we collect the equivalent of the first 10 years of Twitter, right? So it's just a massive amount of data. So that all comes in from different, security products within a customer's ecosystem. We have obviously a bunch of really smart detection and AI and everything to help find security things that evade most security products. And then we have the ability to respond to that and help customers get through that. And so we have a portfolio of products from our managed detection and response service to our vulnerability management service to security awareness training to incident response, and now we've just entered the endpoint market.
What do you feel sets ArcticWolf apart and makes it unique from other competitors in the space?
Yeah, I think it's 2 things. I think it's our platform. So I think a lot of companies have portfolios, but they don't really have a platform. So what we mean by that is we're an open platform. So we collect information from all sorts of security products, over 200 different data sources, over 90 security products, and we collect all that information to a giant platform that has all the kind of innovation built into the platform. So all of our threat intelligence, our AI, our data lake, all of that is built in there. So as we build products on top of it, they inherit all that security innovation, and they can be a force multiplier by adding more products on top of that platform. So think of it almost like a security operating system, and you're building applications on top of an operating system. And so that's one. And the second part is our security operations. We're able to run a very, very large security operations, probably the largest commercial SOC in the world, over 1,000 security analysts. Working 24/7 across the globe, and we're able to do that at a massive scale, but we're able to provide a service to our customers through all that data we collect, filtering it down to where they typically get 1 alert per day. And I was just talking to another security vendor, and they're like, oh yeah, our goal is 15 per analyst. So if you have 5 analysts, that's 5 times 15. Ours is 1 per day per customer. And so we do all that noise reduction. We take care of all that heavy lifting for them, and they just get to sit back and know that their security is handled.
Let me ask you about a recent acquisition that you completed, BlackBerry Cylance solution. Talk to me about what inspired you and the team and really gave you motivation to get into the endpoint space.
Yeah, so the biggest motivation for getting the endpoint space was our customers asked us to. So talking to our customers, we're like, hey, we'd really love to buy an endpoint solution from you guys, because what we're seeing as a customer is the difference between the best vendor and the 10th best vendor in efficacy is like 0.1%, but the cost difference is 300%. So they're saying we really rely on you for our general security outcomes and our security posture. We'd love to just buy an endpoint from you guys and consolidate it together. And so we went down that path. We looked at nearly every endpoint out there in the market that's acquirable, and turned out, luckily, Cylance became available right towards the end of that search, and we think we landed the best one out there.
How has that impacted your ongoing push for platformization?
Well, it's just something that rides on top of the platform, and it feeds into the platform. So even if you were to buy the product as a standalone, it's benefiting from all the capabilities we've built into the platform. So all the detections we've written, anything we've done around automating our SOC, that intelligence can be leveraged to make the product more automated, more capable. Things that we've built in the cloud for detections, we can now turn into prevention with new AI models and new ways to detect malicious activity on an endpoint. So it's a perfect marriage for that. And it's now just an additional signal on top of the platform, but yet if you want to just leverage it alone, you still get the benefits of the overall platform.
Listening to your customers is so important, getting that real-time feedback. I wonder, what are those top pain points that you are hearing from customers, and how do you feel that ArcticWolf is doing in terms of being able to evolve and address those concerns?
Yeah, I think the biggest concerns is just still the mounting complexity, right? Every year now it's AI, right? Everybody's talking about AI, and it's complex because now that's a new attack surface, right? Customers are using it. What's happening with their data? Where is it going? They have their own LLMs inside. Are people poisoning those models? So it's just a growing complexity. Customers in the mid-market now are embracing cloud, where it used to be just large enterprise. Now they have to worry about securing their cloud infrastructure. And so as this mounting complexity comes, they need a way to simplify it. They need a way to bring all that information into one single source of truth for security and have security experts know that they're there 24/7 for them. And so as the market continues to expand, our value proposition gets better.
Of course, there's no doubt that the customers you're working with are using AI, but I wonder about the ways that ArcticWolf yourself, how are you using AI as well as machine learning in the general cybersecurity landscape?
Yes, we use AI pretty broadly because we're in a unique position that I think we have three things, and I'll talk about a fourth one now, that I think makes us unique. One is this massive amount of data I talked about. So these 9 trillion security observations a week coming in, but we're getting them from across 200 different data sources. So it's a diversity of data as well. And the last piece is any AI model that you build, you want to have the ability to have reinforcement learning. You want that model to be constantly tuned by the actual model performing in the wild. We can do that with security operators. So we have 1,000 security operators, just through them doing their job, provides feedback into those models in a way at scale that nobody else can do. And the fourth element now is our recent announcement of our collaboration with Anthropic. So really working with Anthropic to help kind of advance those AI models that we're building around things like threat detection, around things like SOC automation, around things like human interfaces to really augment how our customers interface with our service. Anthropic's going to be a collaborator for us across all of that. And I think combined with those three tactical elements that we have, plus their collaboration, we're going to be in a great position.
Anthropic's a pretty killer name to have as a collaborator.
It sure is.
Absolutely.
They're even more of a killer company.
I bet there's no doubt that they are. Really grateful for your time. Dan Schiappa, President of Technology and Services at ArcticWolf, joining us here in San Francisco. Congratulations. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.